Hey, how's it going? So today I have some cards and I've been thinking about energy a lot. Like maybe you've heard the term energy healing. So I'm not specifically looking for healing effects, and I don't mean on myself. Like, I'm not talking about being an instrument with it. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but what I'm focusing on is like the ability to like use it. And so I've mentioned this many times, a lady called Kalina Melnar, and she's like a ascension master, and she gives you codes for like light language codes that do activations on you, and she can do remote healing through the videos, and she has like all of the clairs, and she's pretty much just an energy being in, like, that's her form, that's her deal. But also she's there to like help enlighten us to things and give us activations and downloads when she does light language, or I guess she's speaking it to us. Personally, I don't have like an understanding of it, and I don't do it, I don't speak it, so it's just kind of from a distance completely in a way. But the point is when she does the activations on you, and she'll do like a general video so like everyone gets it, although she does have a private site that is less restricting than YouTube. But that's not the point. So, like, I've watched her videos, and like Reiki healing videos I've watched, but specifically with Kalina's videos, like, she's doing healings on you remotely. Like, she'll get enough of a segment of the population that's watching, or watching later even, that she'll be able to feel like a concentration. I'm thinking it's like a glop, a block of people with the same kind of ailment, and then she'll, I guess, focus on that glop, that block. And so she'll say, like, she'll either say you will feel such and such a thing, or if you're not feeling it, don't worry, it's working anyway. So I'm in the range of, yes, I can feel it. I don't know the whole scale, but I can feel it. And I wasn't feeling it as fully as I could have been, because I wasn't able to specifically differentiate that feeling from all of the other stuff that I'm feeling. So I was watching her show the other day, and I was thinking about that, and also at the same time, stuff is happening still with everyone. Like, everyone's receiving all of this solar information, all of this astronomical stuff is coming in, and the effect of so many people all awakening at the same time changes things too. So this is also going on concurrently, and so I'm like watching her video, and what I realized is, like, yes, I feel something, like I feel like a little different. And she'll have like an exercise that she'll have us all do, like she'll have everybody cough, because a lot of the people watching will have blockages in their throat chakras, and that's like holding back a lot of what you want to say, what you need to say, or it could even be more abstract than that, like the holding back part. But I realized, like, I had like been waiting to feel the final effect, like after everything's all done. And what I realized is that I was feeling the effect for a long time. Like, I've been watching her for years, and I only just put together yesterday how I was actually feeling the energy all the time, but not realizing that that's what it was. Because I cannot sit still during her videos. I'm like moving and adjusting, and something similar happens here because I'm using the energy to channel the messages that I'm getting through the cards, or just that I'm getting from wherever. And what was I saying? I hate it when I space out in the middle of what I was talking about. So yeah, like, I'll get the energy thing too, and then, like, I'm moving a lot, and I'll, like, be plucking out my clothes, but that's only because I can see that my clothes are doing things. That's not why I'm moving around. Like, I just put it together. That is the energy moving me. So, then I had to put it to, like, well, where else does that happen, and how can I make it happen morely? Muchly more, whatever. I want to, like, open the spigot, because it seems like you are more effective in the world of, like, psychic stuff, or, like, I don't just mean, like, reading minds or whatever, but just, like, opening the bore wider on your senses flow. And I guess the energy has a lot to do with that. Like, I imagine it carries in a lot of the, whatever the activation is opening up, whatever it's doing. But that's like energy coming in also to you. So then you're dealing with a blend of energy. I just think that, like, energy is not, it doesn't quite encompass what the word means in this sense. But I don't know, like I said, I don't have a scale. Like, there could be, a lot more. I learn as I go. So anyway, here, look at my signs before I forget. 'Cause I'm just, I'm just freeballing here. I'm not, like, you don't see any certificates here anywhere. I'm not making any claims. I'm just, it's more like, what do you call it when you just talk and, oh God, come on, words come back, terms and phrases come back. I can't think of it. Now I don't even remember what I was thinking about. But anyway, every time I, like, unlock a realization like that, I feel like I need a Cracker Jack prize. Like I did something good. So, okay. I have these cards, and I went to pull I usually just pull one Declarations of Mary card, because they are, like, packed full of information, and they have their own energy. Like, I had my friend over, and I handed her the pack. She didn't even get them open yet, and she's like, oh my goodness, I can already feel these things. So they have a lot of energy on them. Energy. Oh, I think that's what I was talking about. Like, it's such a, like, it's not enough of a word, I feel like, for what it does, for what my understanding is unlocking about it. Like, I don't know what I thought feeling the energy was supposed to be like, like, why did I not figure out that I didn't even really notice that I was moving around so much? Like, I just felt like that's normal, but it's not. I don't sit around and squirm constantly. That's not normal. So I guess you just have to be a little more discerning about what's happening, or I do, like, I'm just trying to, like, make stuff make sense and make it fit with, like, the teachings that I've been getting that, we can all access, but, I chose to, so I've been, like, taking my homework seriously. So the reason why I usually only pull one of these powerfully energetic cards is because they're very densely layered with information. more like activations and downloads are embedded in these things. Embedded in the words, but even like just the cards themselves. This thing feels like it's got like a layer of Alka-Seltzer between my finger, my forefinger, and my thumb. Like that, this card has energy. Okay, so I went to pull one, but I got two. And because I have to, I mean, I can look at them and get a, you know, a very thin impression and just go with that, but I like to read them through a few thousand times, and I don't really think about the information too much. Like, I'll take away something every time I look, and it sort of adds to whatever I'm gathering from it that I'm gonna talk about, that I'm feeling, I guess. So I usually just pick one, because then I want to have other cards, which I do. I just like to study these for a while and make sure I'm getting everything they are telling me. Okay, so I got two came out stuck together. So I have twins. So it is the number 26 card, and I think this might be a long one. Viewers, just warning you. So let's see here. I am going to go here. I'm going to pause it while I go look up the spiritual meaning. I know I cut myself off. I'm going to Sacred Scribes angel numbers, or Joanne angel numbers. So the first card is number 26, and for 26 we have an ad first. Thanks. No, God, you know, I knew it was going to do that. They put a thing to close it, and then you can't. God, go away. Unbelievable. I don't want to open it. I want to get rid of it. God, I hate this. See, they always do this crap. Okay, there we go. So let's try that again. Number 26. Come on. There we go. Okay. Number 26 is made up of the energies and attributes of the number 2 and number 6. Number 2 relates to duality, service, and duty, balance and harmony, adaptability, diplomacy, cooperation, selflessness, faith and trust, and divine life purpose and soul mission. Number 6 relates to the vibrations of love, nurturing, responsibility and reliability, honesty and integrity, teaching others, grace and gratitude, the material and financial aspects of life, and reflects upon the home and family. Angel number 26 is a message from your angels that your material and earthly needs will always be met, so have faith and trust that the universe will always provide. Follow your divine inner guidance and allow it to prompt you to take positive action in your life. There's a lot. Angel number 26 asks you to be diplomatic and cooperative with others in order to set a positive example for others to learn from. It tells you that you serve your divine purpose. It tells you that as you serve your divine purpose, it tells you that as you serve your divine life purpose, finally, you will reap the spiritual and emotional rewards of love, trust, and companionship, as well as material and financial rewards. Angel number 26 also tells of achieving and attaining fame and or material rewards. Okay, that last one is kind of surprising. Those, I don't know, I don't even want to try and reconcile like fame and balance and harmony. Thank goodness that is not a problem I have at the moment. So, okay, you heard what the number says. So with that, we got a number 26 on this card. What the text says is, "Thou hast not seen thy truth when thou confines thyself in thy head, disconnected from thy sacred heart." Okay, so that one is pretty easy to read just on its face, because I feel like it's talking about having your head everywhere but where it's important. And like, if your whole attention span is focused on, like, politics, for example. Ooh, my teeth tried to come out. I've been watching the same stuff for years. Like, I'll watch, like, I was watching, broadcast network news, and then my friend, after much coaxing, got me to stop watching it. Or at least I cut way down, because I was watching it just all day, like MSNBC, all shows all day. And not because I'm like total Democrat crazy person. I vote Democrats because I'm just not, Republicans are just not my deal. But I'm not like thrilled with anyone anymore, because whether it's their fault or not, once they go from the campaigning stage to the actually elected stage, what they say, what they have said, and what they do become totally divorced from each other. And I know that's, like, comes with the territory. Like, they may have the best of intentions, but once you get there, the people with more seniority lay down the law of how things are really done. And I'm not necessarily 100% just all gung-ho for anything because it's blue or D. But I also don't have any other choices. Like, the Republicans have never, they don't ever say stuff that I want to hear that makes me want to, vote for them. And then look at what happened when the people voted Republican this last time, and we got this first and second terms of Trump. Not my deal. I would not have voted for the guy ever. So if you're just constantly, like, locked into that, and so, like, now I don't watch broadcast TV because I don't have the service to provide it. I just don't have TV anymore like that. Whatever I watch is going to come through my phone, and it's going to be alternative news, and I just watch a lot of different things, because you can't just focus on one thing, because no one can talk about everything, one person, and so you have to go and look at different people and get these different perspectives, or else they're talking about something that nobody else is talking about, and that's kind of interesting and exciting, because then you get to go find out, is that true? Is that a real person? Did that thing happen? And that's something that, we probably should have been doing all along, rather than just accepting what the politicians were telling us, because their motives are not always, like I said, they'll start off saying one thing, get elected, and then other things change. And I don't know if it's that they are offered sticks and carrots. I think that's probably what it is. And I think the sticks are pretty serious, because from what I can hear the politicians right now saying, the Republicans are scared and trapped, and every time the Dems have some sort of win, maybe even electoral, I don't know, but some kind of win over something that the current president is doing to people, evidently they're behind the scenes talking about, thank you, do it again, do some more, we can't wait till he's gone. And it's like, where are your spines, you big talking tough guys? What are you doing? So as an example, I got a little carried away there, but as an example, that is the kind of stuff that I was just looking at all the time. And, I know to intersperse it with other things so that I don't just get total political damage all the time. Oh, bite me. So, I feel like our heads get all in like TV, not necessarily that it's just TV, but just like that energy. And the news is, they're not in a hurry to tell you good, happy stuff. Like, you really don't really look for it on the news, I guess. Like, they'll have like one item after the end of a barrage of horrible stuff, and it's like, oh, whoa, yay, a panda was born at the zoo in China. Woo! It doesn't really take away, like, all the feeling that all that other stuff that came previous dumped on you and made you aware of and made you angry about or made you sad about. And it's hard because you feel like, what can I do? And you can donate and you can, I guess, say stuff places. But, oh God, will you leave me alone? It's not like we can go over to wherever the pitiful place is and, like, start doing and helping and, like, actually physically get in there and do something. And I think, for me at least, that kind of eats at me. Like, I can't do anything, and it's so horrible, and I feel so bad about it. And it's just not a good place to spend your time in a lot. So I have lots of alternate things that I do that hit you in the heart, which has an intelligence of its own, by the way. And it's going to be softer and more emotional, in a different way than the type of things, the type of activities that can go on in your mind after watching too much name calling and it's just so much tearing down of each other. And for a while it was fine and it was like, haha, it was fun, but now I just watch it and I'm like, this is just making me feel bad. Like, even hosts that I really enjoy watching, I hear them talking and it's like, man, you have a newborn child that's going to be around you hearing what you're saying about these other people that are so terrible, but you're kind of doing the same thing and your kid's absorbing it. Like, that's what I'll be sitting there thinking about, and that doesn't really feel great either, but that's like my heart talking, like, please don't damage your child. Like, please. And also your viewers, like, you can talk about, like, the Trump administration and what they're doing and Republicans without doing the same thing they're doing. Like, leave out the name calling. We all can see, yes, they're jerks. That's painfully obvious. But I don't feel good when everybody is spewing the same anger talk. Like, that is just hurtful and harmful. Hurtful to people that hear it, harmful to the people dishing it out. Like, that cannot be good for your soul. Like, so I think that's what this card is talking about, that you have not seen the truth when you confine yourself to your mind, disconnected from your heart, which is where your softer, more vulnerable emotions are. Because when you get hurt on an emotional level, where do you feel it? Not in your head. Although you might get a migraine from stressing yourself out or something, but you get heart sick. You get sick to your stomach. And heart sick is powerful. Like, when you lose someone in any capacity, unless you're super together and are like, that was in the life plan, that's done, on to the next thing. It's like, good for you if you can keep that mindset all the time. Because really, then the stuff is not hurting you as much. It's like, yeah, that happened, and yes, I felt it, but then you can actually move on to whatever is next. And I know that sounds like I'm saying the exact same thing, but I think what the difference is coming to that decision with your heart or your mind. Like, that's going to make a real difference. And it's a lot easier to heal if you're just kind of academic about it or clinical, because we did indeed sign up for all of this. We designed what is happening. So it's kind of like, why are we whining about it? And then the other thing is with I guess it's like a 4 to 5D sort of state of mind, but if you can remember that part about having signed up for it and designed it and it being part of your pre-birth blueprint for your life, I mean, that kind of takes the sting out. Like, because I have a card from another deck. I think it's the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, but the card says, this is not my face, this is not my hair, or this is not my body, this is not my hair. Basically, this is a costume or a work coverall that I'm wearing. And the real me is a different energy altogether, maybe not even incarnate, but here on this planet, while I'm alive and wandering around in this suit, this coverall, that's what I'm doing. But eventually, the play comes to an end and I exit stage left, and the same with a play. Like, you go up and you inhabit that character, but then when you've gone through the entire script, you're done with that. The character is done. Does the character have more to do? Possibly at a later date. But now they can just go home and have a beer or whatever. And that's probably like a really good attitude to carry around as things get more and more than they have ever been in my whole life, and I think everyone's life. I think it's better to stay in the heart space, the heart mind, to deal with what's happening, because you don't need any more of the in the head mind adding insults and derision and glotation. Like, there's no shortage of that, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so the next card is number 35. And I'm just going to real quick look up that number. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Number 35. There didn't used to be ads on this site. It's really annoying. Oh, have I mentioned how annoyed ads make me? They really do that. They annoy me a lot. Okay, so, angel number 35. Number 35 is made up of the attributes of the number 3 and the vibrations of number 5. Number 3 resonates with the vibrations of joy and optimism, inspiration and enthusiasm, expansion and growth, self-expression and communication. Number 3 also relates to the Ascended Masters, who help you to find peace, clarity, and love within, and to focus on the divine spark within yourself and others. They also assist with manifesting your desires. Number 5 brings the qualities of personal freedom, making important life choices and changes, life lessons learned through experience, variety, adaptability, and versatility, resourcefulness, motivation, progress, and auspicious opportunities. The number 35 is a number of motivation, creativity, and imagination, adventure, vision, and opportunity. This woman does she uses "and" in strange places. I feel like there should be more periods or commas and fewer "ands" or something. I'm saying that because it's hard to find the cadence when the punctuation is crazy. So anyway, angel number 35 is a message from the angels that positive life changes are ahead of you, and your passions and life purposes may come into question and or review. Okay, I'm just going to interrupt here. There's more to say on here, but I feel like they're talking about what's kind of happening right now, where we're in dire need of positive life changes, and those have been foreseen by many a channeled message and psychic viewer, and maybe just the hope of people like me that, like, this crap has got to end. Like, it just cannot keep going this way. And then also is talking about your passions and life purpose may come into question or review. It seems like a lot of people that in some way annoy the current administration, they find themselves under a spotlight and under review, and it's unfair and manufactured and wrong and a terror tactic. So I just think that it's interesting that came up as part of this information about the number 35. So it goes on to say, angel number 35 tells you to trust that once these positive changes take effect, you will find that many new opportunities will present themselves for you to take advantage of. Know that these changes will be of long-term benefit to you and are in alignment with your life purpose and soul mission. Call upon the angels and ascended masters to assist you. Angel number 35 also tells you to rely upon your communicative and creative skills and abilities, and allow yourself to keep an open mind and an open heart to the changes currently taking place in your life. Trust that your highest ideals and desires manifest as a result. Okay, so it also does that numerology thing where it breaks down or adds together the 3 and the 5, which make an 8, as I'm sure you know. I hope you know that. And it says that, okay, well, it just talks about what I just talked about. So I'm going to click on angel number 8, and I'm just going to add that to our information. Thanks for underlining it. Can I see it, though? Okay. Angel number 8 resonates with the influences and vibrations of authority and personal power, self-confidence, executive ability, confidence again, inner strength, professionalism, and the professional management, material freedom, success, good judgment, money, finances, riches, manifesting wealth, abundance, and prosperity. Oh my God, that was a comma. Provision, investments, discrimination, and discernment. Another comma. Giving and receiving. Thoroughness, dependability, self-reliance, repose, practicality, consideration, inner wisdom, self-sufficiency, social status, pragmatism, the ego, aggregation, compassion, dictatorship, executive, delegation. Where is a period, man? Wow, it just goes on and on. Like, you're just not going to put a period in there. So, a lot of these things that it's describing, I feel like on one hand, it's telling us who are like the constituent public to the politicians, I feel like it's telling us that we need to take on some of these qualities to defend ourselves, because the electeds and the powers that be already have like a ton of power, and they're confident in it, and they're learning every day new ways to mutate and pervert the laws so that they're taking power out of our hands in a lot of ways, like financial power and material power, but also they're changing the legal landscape like right under our noses, because people are not really talking about this, but they're acting as if any legal things that they had to do previously, like going to Congress to start wars and things, they're just like, we don't have to do that anymore because we're not doing it anymore. And then that makes, in my opinion, the Congress just useless, because if you're there and you're not enforcing the law, what the hell good are you? Why are people spending money in taxes to support you and your family when you are essentially destroying families of the people that put you where you are, that put you in reach of the corrupting temptations that seems like everybody just gave in to? Like, I don't know, like, if the Democrats could have done anything or not, because the Republicans have the presidency, they have the executive, they have the legislative, they have the administrative. What's the other one? Executive, legislative, judicial. They have like all of those covered, and everyone just seems to be kind of leaning that way if they're like any bit at all to the right. But is there nothing Democrats can do? I wonder, because I can tell you that the speechifying does nothing for me. There's nothing that they can do. Like, oh, they spoke longer than somebody from 60 years ago. Like, you think people even know who that is today? Even adults, I feel like, have just, like, withdrawn their intellect from what's going on and what has gone on, and it's bad. Like, we look like a bunch of illiterate hillbillies, all of us. Like, we can't even hardly express ourselves like adults or people that speak our own language. It's really kind of sad. I don't mean to be tearing people down, but that feels like what it is. So I think like this number 8 stuff is telling me like maybe we should be looking for all of these qualities in ourselves to defend ourselves from people that already have them and are using and abusing them against us. And I'm sorry, Democrats, you could do more of something. I have said, like, get out of Washington, go to your constituencies and throw your weight around. Like, you can help with access to food, to housing, to legal necessities that people have going on. You know, the battered women, food, like, there's so many things that they could go actually seriously throw their weight around, because they have influence and they could like make deals like this president is doing to actually help people that are not in the rich people class, the wealthy people class, where they're getting all kinds of help like they needed. They got help. They got money. That's what helps people. And they got lots of it. They don't want to share it. They don't want to give back to where it came from, where they came from. They're just like the most unbelievably stingy people I've ever seen. So, if we don't have if we have no way to defend ourselves, that ain't great. I mean, but we do. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we, the people, are completely helpless. We're not. But, you know, our defense, what we could do in the face of these very powerful other people is stop helping them make that money. Stop going to those jobs. Like, yeah, that'd be inconvenient. Yeah, where am I going to get money? Yeah, where am I going to pay my bills? Yeah. You got to plan for it. You can't just decide today and then everybody stop going. You have to make contingencies. But it can be done, because they're really not looking for us to retaliate or, fight back in that particular way. And it's not like you gotta go out on the street and expose yourself to violence and authorities that are gonna, like, hit you with stuff or shoot stuff at you. You just don't go. What are they gonna go to everybody's house and drag them to work? I don't think so. I don't feel like that's like a feasible thing that'll ever happen. So, I'll stop. So, okay, yeah, I feel like we need to take on a lot of these qualities as a society to maintain the cohesion of the society. Okay, so where did I leave off? Self-reliance, repose, practicality, consideration, inner wisdom. I could click on that, but I'll just be going down rabbit holes that, no, this will be good enough. So inner wisdom, self-sufficiency, social status, pragmatism. We, I think, have to make a sub-social status to everything that is currently not functioning. Because even if we, like, try to use, like, the existing remedies to situations, we're still always just, like, right back into some governmental system, which currently the powers that be have made it, like, really ineffective for people that need help and difficult. So we can circumvent all of that. We have the technology. We have the brains of people. We could do it. I think we give up before we even really try. But we can be creative. We can, like, find ways around, above, under, through, that are not the normal ways that we would do things. Like, we just are in that situation now, and I think do we all get that now, that, like, the old ways are not working, and they have now been made unworkable as much as they could. So, we got to dream up new ways of moving forward. Where am I? God, this is, I can't, where is a period on here, woman? This is really small print. I don't see a period anywhere. It's really crazy. Anyway, there are so many things here. It feels like a joke. There's, like, even more words that they have describing number 8. But it's like everything. It can't be everything. It can't be all of the numbers. I'm going to get out of that description part and move to the next paragraph, which says, angel number 8 brings uplifting messages of encouragement from your angels, telling of achievements, success, striving forward, progress, and attainment. Period. It is a message to stay optimistic and listen to your intuition and inner guidance as you hold positive expectations and thoughts of positive abundance in all of its forms. Set solid foundations for yourself and your loved ones, as this will ensure your future prosperity. So 8 is double 4s, and 4s are foundations. That 2 foundations probably can't hurt. They probably need to put them under the tall buildings in San Francisco. Which would be hard because there's a whole building on top of the foundation. Anyway, the universe and your angels will always support you, but it is your responsibility to ensure that you put in the appropriate that you put in the appropriate work and effort. Where'd it go? Sorry, I got that post-COVID cough. Sorry. It is a message to you to stay optimistic and listen to your intuition and inner guidance as you hold positive expectations and thoughts of positive abundance in all its forms. Set solid foundations for yourself and your loved ones, as this will ensure your future prosperity. The universe and your angels will always support you, but it is your responsibility to ensure that you put in the appropriate work and effort when and where necessary. You are encouraged to live up to your full potential. Angel, where are you going? Angel number 8 brings a message from the angels that financial abundance is on its way as you have worked diligently and intelligently toward achieving your goals and aspirations. And your just rewards will be yours. Be grateful for the blessings in your life and for those yet to come. Angel number 8 tells you to step into your personal power and have faith and trust in your own abilities, skills, and talents, and to use them to your highest potential. Oh, wow, I was really far away, so I hope that was audible. Okay, I think I'm done with that. So, what the card reads is, when one knows that thou shalt create all things from thy inner source of love, is when one understands the alchemical magic of life eternally. So, I'm just going to break that down into modern English a little bit. Well, when you know that you shall create all things from your inner source of love, that's when you understand the alchemical magic of life eternally. And I feel like it kind of goes back to the first card where it talks about staying out of your busy, static-filled mind, and that creates its own set of things to be wary of. Like, it could make you have bad choices, like, in my opinion. So I'm talking about myself, but if I watch the other stuff that I was talking about earlier, God, this is terrible. Like the news stuff all the time and the angry people reporting the news, and I understand why they would say it's not just like, it's not only like returning fire in kind, it's also their emotions coming out. Like, you know, the news affects the people giving you the news too. And even like these wealthy people that want to do things like reopen Duke Energy and start polluting the land and the water around there again after they were just getting started cleaning it up. That is such a bad idea. Like, why would you do the thing that hurts and destroys the area that you also live in? Like, maybe you're NIMBY, you know, maybe your bee is miles away and you think it's not going to affect you, but that's dumb, because water is permeable and water doesn't just stay water. It takes all forms and it can travel. And also, like, it gets in the food supply, which will bring it right back to your home unless you're importing food from somewhere else, which you can't guarantee the same thing isn't happening somewhere else, particularly if you're getting your food from here in the United States. So, and particularly right now, because they've decided to remove all kinds of regulations that tell you if stuff is safe to eat. They don't want you to know what diseases are out there that are potentially going to get you and your family. It's destructive thought. And it's not, boy, it's like the lowest order of thought. If you think you can just do stuff to other people and that it's not going to affect you, especially when it's what I was talking about, like things with oil. If it gets in the water, well, we've seen how badly that works out for the life everywhere. And I don't, you know, I feel like that's the kind of stuff that being in your head all of the time being in your head, it seems like a good idea, but you're not like thinking not really using much foresight. And also, it's selfish to do all of those things in the pursuit of profit because, again, you don't live by yourself somewhere that none of it's going to touch you. Like, even if pollution doesn't end up in your water table in your area, the effects of it somewhere else are going to somehow reach you. You can't, like, escape your world if you're just on it. Still, you want to escape it, then you have to completely leave, either taking a ship or the other way. So, this is talking about, though, creating from your inner source of love, which comes from the heart. And when you create from that vantage point, the creations, the alchemy is, well, it's a different thing. Like, I think, the creations that come out of the mind are fast and, it's expedient. And expedient also means fast, but I think it additionally refers to doing it fast for the reason of, this is going to help me right now. Like, this is going to be my good right now, without regard to any other consequence that the action may create. From your heart, you're going to be more considerate of everybody else, because when you're in love, like not in love, like with someone, but living in a state of love, you don't want to damage or hurt anybody or anything else, and that's a good thing. You can use love as a weapon, but that's not what I'm talking about. And the alchemy here is, if you show a person love that hasn't gotten it or hasn't gotten enough of it, you can help heal them. And I know people are angry about their lives and the way they've turned out, the way their lives have turned out, or the way that they, as a person, have turned out, and it's not maybe working for them the way it might other people. So I'm going to take a strange turn here, but I do watch a lot of different stuff, and so I came across this guy named Reese Waters, and he's a black guy, and I think he might be a comedian, but he does like news, topical stuff, and it's pretty funny. The way that he delivers it, the way he hosts is pretty funny. And so he was talking about AmFest, which is the Turning Points USA, which is a right-wing political movement, and they are trying to salt and infect the whole country with their message, which is a Republican thing, or conservative, or right-wing. Like, it's all the same to me. And a lot of those people were fighting with each other. I should just include the episode, actually, so I'll pen. I'll write myself a note, because I have the memory of, I don't know, of a rock. Link Waters. Or, yeah. So anyway, he was talking about that whole kerfuffle at AmFest for the Turning Points USA convention, and it was kind of led by Erica Kirk, who is the wife of the former founder, who was Charlie Kirk, who was recently assassinated. So she's moving into his position, or trying to, but I'm not going to get into that, because that's a whole other thing, and there's a lot to say about that. I'm going to let other people say it, though. So, what Waters was doing, Reese Waters, not to be confused with another person that is on screen named Waters, Reese Waters was talking about the AmFest and how they were fighting. There was a lot of infighting there, and it actually been kind of amusing for people not really in those circles. For me, it's interesting. The series, the name of the episode was called "Let 'Em Fight" because it is kind of unctuous and delicious to watch them be at each other's throat instead of everybody else for a change. But it started with Ben Shapiro coming out and saying a bunch of stuff against basically his colleagues in the podcast zone. And he's butthurt about Israel. And I thought it was really funny that there was so much talk about Israel and anti-Semitism at AmFest, because it sure sounded like Jew Fest. Please don't get mad at me. I have a lot of Jewish friends. I love them. It's not about that with me. It's about that with them. But I noticed that there wasn't very much talk about America. So, that's kind of like Ben Shapiro's thing. He wears a yarmulke, which is not that common. Although, I mean, I grew up in LA in a Jewish neighborhood, and even there, I didn't see, like, everybody wearing a yarmulke. Just some people. So, it's not like... I think he wears it as a statement, too. But I try not to think about him too much, because he radiates hate, kind of. So, he had a lot of things to say about his colleagues, and in particular, he was talking about, I'm moving into a different part. So, he was like the first speaker. And others came after, but Tucker Carlson came on. And Tucker Carlson has been, like, hanging out or cozying up to Nick Fuentes, who is kind of a virulent, hateful guy. Like, pick a thing, he hates it. And Carlson is a guy who tries to present himself like, I'm just asking questions. But the way he asked the questions and the questions that he asked are like, he thinks he's like not being virulent and nasty, but he really is. He's just in that bless your heart kind of way. Like, he'll put a smile on his crap comments. But he's basically very much in alignment as far as ideology as Fuentes. And so, in Waters' video, after all of this AmFest stuff happened, Waters had a picture, or he had a clip of a Nick Fuentes video talking about what happened after. And he always does that. He'll do something, and then people will do the comments, and then he'll come after and start tearing up the commentary that they said, or like, what he did was just tearing down the other people that he was there with. So Tucker Carlson, I guess, has just recently taken the guy under his wing, so to speak, and he's already turned on him. So I didn't listen to it too much because I didn't want to hear all of that bile. But what I noticed was Tucker Carlson, I believe, is over 6 feet. Nick Fuentes looked like a little girl standing next to him. Like, I didn't realize he was so diminutive. And then I thought, oh, that's why he's so poisonous. He's got the Napoleon syndrome, like Napoleon. But I don't even know if, like, Napoleon was that full of vitriol, because Napoleon went out and almost took over the world. People seem to be afraid that this guy is going to do it, but I don't think you can do it on just nastiness alone. So I just thought, oh, well, that really kind of explains a lot about the guy, because it's pretty well known that he's got some kind of weird thing with women. He calls everything gay. He's, like, obsessed with calling everything gay, but not in the homosexual sense. Or I guess sometimes, but I think it means it to be an insult. But he is also this guy that's in his mid-20s that Piers Morgan, of all people, was able to pull out of him Well, so what? You're a virgin? You're talking all this shit. I'm paraphrasing. You're talking all this shit about women and you're a virgin? And so it's like he really kind of hates women. He thinks that like physical intimacy is gay. He thinks that having a wife or a partner and you don't have more than 4 kids is gay. But having intimacy is gay. It's like, bro, you are so messed up. Do you even like women? So he says he's not gay. But boy, if you focus your attention on gay, people really gotta wonder. Because you can say no. But we've seen many times people say, no, I'm not gay. And then turns out they were in the closet being gay. Like, totally so. And I want to be clear here. I know a lot of black people are like really like weird about the gay thing. I don't care. Be gay. The only problem I have with it is like Diddy, like what he was doing as a gay man or a power rape person. I don't know. Oh, I guess you're not supposed to say that word. Sorry, I blew it. I'm trying to stay away from it. I usually don't even talk about this kind of thing. But that's what he was doing, and that's not the same as being gay. That's like a power R, just like I was saying. But he does seem to be at least fluid or something. I don't really care about his sexuality, but what I'm saying is, I don't think that any of us has the right to come down on anybody else about what they're doing between the sheets unless it's hurting people. So, Fuentes seems to have some kind of weird thing with gayness and women, and I don't really care, like, what his problem is. Although, I wish he would find love. But then I think about, like, Stephen Miller found Katie Miller, and it didn't soften him up at all, so I don't know if that's a remedy. And also, it's not my problem, except that he does come to my notice fairly often, and I think, ooh, God, people, please don't listen to this guy. Because he's becoming, and other podcasters are nervous, and like in the same sort of vein, that he's gaining popularity because everyone's afraid that he's going to overtake them, and a lot of people that were part of the manosphere, so-called, have kind of, been dropping into obscurity for various reasons, like, I don't know, being the puppets of foreign countries to say things against their own nation, basically, America, in favor of these other nations for money, and that sucks. Like, wow, you are, like, really lame if you're doing that, in my opinion. So, now I've completely lost the track of what I was saying. But Fuentes does not come from a place of love. He comes from a place, again, in my opinion, of deeply needing some love. Like, if someone can get close enough to him, but I don't know, like I said, the Millers, it might not matter. He needs something, though. And so, back to the card. I'm going to start from in the middle of the sentence, because this is another writer or speaker, because the information on the cards was channeled. So the person that made the cards, it's not what they're saying. It's what Mary Magdalene has told her to place on the cards. So I guess I'll just read the whole thing. When one knows that thou shalt create things from thy inner source of love is when one understands the alchemical magic of life eternally. So, I would say a lot of people on the right are creating from the head space and not the heart space. And so, they're not changing alchemically anything. Or maybe they are, but in this context that I'm talking about right here, what they're creating to me doesn't feel very loving. It's very much claws out, and teeth bared. And this card is talking about making your life and all things in it directed by the source of love, which comes from your heart. Like, you don't want to help someone until your heart is stricken, like, by their situation. Like, you don't donate to war-torn countries where people are starving and need blankets and everything out of meanness. You see that culmination of meanness and greed, and your heart is aching and wants to help really bad. And I think that is where the alchemy occurs, is that you take this hurtful ugliness into your heart and change it into something, or you season it with love and you hold it within your heart in a loving way, and it changes the tone of it. It changes the key. So this is something that we can do individually. Like, okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So she's definitely had that you don't know what it is until it happens to you moment with Trump, where, like she said, she was very loyal to him and behind the policies, and he's not treated her very well when she spoke up, when she understood that his policies were hurting her personally. And I gotta give it to her. She's, like, being pretty strong in the face of it. Stronger than her fiance. But she will just not turn away from his gush of ire, Trump's gush of ire. Like, I guess he called up and she was talking to him on the speakerphone in the Capitol, and everybody got to hear him yelling at her because she was, like, trying to get him to have a heart and pay attention to the victims of Epstein, some of whom were victims of him, allegedly. And so he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want any of it brought out, but he campaigned on it. He campaigned on exposing who was in the Epstein files and, what was done. And the argument that he was having with Marjorie Greene was that she was like, come on, man, you gotta, like, do something about the insurance subsidies. It's hitting everybody. It's hitting my kids. It's hitting my constituents, and she's not going to be elected for long. She's leaving. And then she will have to be, like, buying her own insurance. I think she'll get a pension, though. A pension that won't get robbed, like so many of us have had happen to them, which is sad. But she, I think, is starting to see how the effects of those type of things, like yanking away access to insurance, or reasonable or affordable access, taking that away, she's seeing, but that ain't good. Like, I think she's starting to see that for one part of the country to function well, all of it kind of does. So when you're just enriching yourself and neglecting the other parts of everything, that's not a... it's not going to lead to anything good. It's like it's working against itself in a way, and so in a harmful way. So she's getting a lot of accusations from people because she's changing her mind or something, and they don't want to believe it. And my thing has always been, like, she's a politician. Like, she's just doing what politicians do. But it's not always out there for us to see what has changed their mind or made them act in a certain way. And this is kind of a radical change for her, but it's because, here's the part where it happened to her finally, not just the insurance and not just the constituents talking to her, but the doxing and the death threats. And all because Trump's out there saying, like, this woman who's been behind his back, behind him, propping him up, you know, his biggest booster, and he didn't want to give her anything. And it's plain as the face on her face why, to me, he would be that way to her. Like, yeah, sure, he'll use her, and yeah, sure, he'll accept her MAGA love, but also he will from the MAGAs, but he doesn't want to, like, touch them or actually talk to them or love them or anything. It's like, they're just, like, token pieces of game pieces that he can just use. And so she stopped saying what he wanted to hear, and he just immediately turned on her because she understands now that loyalty with him is not a two-way street. And I don't know how she didn't see that before now, but sometimes people do have to have a thing happen to them directly to see it. So, you know, so what if she just wanted to campaign and become like a senator from a congressman? That's what politicians normally do. And she hasn't changed. Like, she's still pretty darn Republican, and like the America First thing is an isolationist policy, and it's like, girl, we need allies. We're big, but even a big country needs allies, because she probably is not able to see this, but the allies that Trump has made were our adversaries, and kind of still are. He just thinks, he doesn't seem to understand that he's made it possible for them to really mess with the United States and really damage us. I don't understand his dysfunction. He's got too much medical stuff going on, and I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, though, I guess the whole of what I'm saying is, be careful if you're going to create from the mind, because in there, things are kind of heartless, soulless, or no, that's not the right way to say it. Things can be. Like, we can take on things that make us start behaving in a heartless, soulless way, and that's terrible if that's not how you started out, and that's how you're emulating people that you find fault with already. Like, don't act like that. Don't take that on, but you might, like, lose yourself in that headspace, and that's why it's, like, essential to return to your heart space, because whatever you're doing to other people, that's not going to have a positive effect on you if you're doing negative things to other people. And I think we might be in a place where we're struggling with that. I think many of us don't know how to, like, forgive and forget or let go of things, or at least accept it and put it aside for later if you have, like, vengeful thoughts or whatever. I don't know, but I feel like if you are thinking only with your mind and not at all with your heart, you're not letting in possibilities and openings to, like, heal the situation and maybe convert it from an adversarial situation to one where you're not just allies, but you're like family. Like, you love and care enough about those other people, even if they're in another country and you don't speak the language. It doesn't matter, because we're all part of this giant, moving and constantly turning and changing existence, and everybody everywhere plays into it somehow. We don't all need to be able to see and understand the exact mechanics of that, but does your life not go sweeter and easier when you are? Like, I can't just be in an adversarial state of mind all the time. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I would rather can't we just get along? And you have to kind of come from your heart a lot, especially right now where we're in a place. I feel like I actually know this to be the case. Like, we have to decide, Are you going to be crappy, or are you going to be loving and sharing and nice? Because one way will get you something, and one way will get you something else. I don't know, for my headache and stomach queasiness prone self, staying in the mind with all that anger and vitriol is I can't. I'm starting to be able to not do it, be able to do it anymore. Like, even shows and hosts that I have liked very much in the past, I am like turning off because they're just spewing a bunch of mean garbage, and I don't. It's like, why don't I just put on Fox News if I want to hear that, which I don't. So this is something that was sort of foretold by the ETs, that, you know, if you were feeling the effects of the shift, then you will be shifting away from that type of activity. Okay, I don't know if that made sense, but thank you and good night.